ayes to the right were 111, the noes to the left 364, so the noes have it, the noes have it.
Protect the pedophile.
The question is that the bill be now read a second time. As many as are of that opinion say aye. Aye. Of the contrary, no.
So the British Parliament has voted against investigations into the Epstein Files. Because investigation into the Epstein Files, we've heard Ro Khanna. Ro Khanna said a full investigation into the Epstein Files will be the end of the British monarchy. Let me show you how the British public are reacting to the Epstein Files.
Charles, how long have you known about Andrew and Epstein? Have you been protecting Andrew for prosecution?
Yeah, so for the British public, when the king is asked about pedophilia, everyone's like, yo, shut up! Don't touch our pedo king. The people, the nation of England is pro-pedophilia.
My BPP and family, I'm Mr. Gray. Thank you for taking the time to watch this episode. What you just saw shows exactly why the Epstein Files continue to dominate the public conversation. On one side, the government is rejecting investigations. On the other, new documents appearing that raise even more questions. The Epstein story is no longer just about Jeffrey Epstein. It has become a debate about institutions, accountability, and more importantly, public trust.
Let's get to some breaking news that is still unfolding. The Trump Justice Department has just uploaded new FBI documents missing from the initial releases of the Epstein Files. Right now, MS Now is pouring through these new files. We are taking our time to make sure we get it right, and we want to be careful on what we report on air. Here is what we can tell you right now. 3 of these documents are FBI 302 memos, notes that FBI agents used to summarize witness interviews. These notes contain unsubstantiated sexual assault allegations against Donald Trump. Specifically, they detail an unsubstantiated account of a woman who accused Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein of sexually assaulting her decades earlier when she was just a teenager. One of the new documents reads in part, quote, Redacted was asked whether she felt comfortable detailing her contacts with Trump. Redacted again asked what the point would be of providing the information at this point in her life when there was a strong possibility nothing could be done about it. There are many redactions on these forms. Trump has long denied any wrongdoing connected to Jeffrey Epstein.
The breaking news clip that you just saw references FBI 302 documents. These are summaries that agents use to create after they're interviewing a witness. The report mentions an allegation involving Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein that dates back decades. The key detail is this: the allegation is described as unsubstantiated. That word matters. It means that the claim exists in investigative records but has not been proven in court. Still, the appearance of these documents adds fuel to the already volatile story.
Well, breaking news. Laura Ingraham was speaking at a Turning Point USA event where she asked the crowd, how many of you are satisfied with the Epstein investigation? And it was silence for a second, and then it was met with boos. You know, you could literally watch her in this clip I'm about to show you. You can see the visual at the very end of the whole clip. You can see her face go, oh, we're like, you can see it. I don't care what nobody's talking about. You can see it in her face, like, oh, we're like, we're all Here's the.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap. to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve. So I was going to get to that. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
Now look at the public response. When the crowd is asked whether they are satisfied with the Epstein investigation, the answer is immediate. They are not satisfied. What makes the moment even more significant is the audience. The frustration now crosses the political lines. They know they messed up. There's nothing else they can do.
I personally lost all faith in our justice system. It is a system of injustice. There is evidence, there are co-conspirators. You can't have thousands of victims and have no other accomplices except for one. There's no effort, none at all, to prosecute predators in the Epstein cases. And it's devastating, but it is important that we get that list out of potential co-conspirators.
Howard Lutnick had lunch on the Epstein Island after he pleaded guilty in 2009. He also continued interactions with them after he said he had severed relations with them. Are you concerned about that?
Well, I'm concerned about anyone that would hang out with a convicted pedophile. He preyed on them, and he abused them, and he groomed them. And anyone that hangs out with a guy like that, I'm sorry, but I'm not hanging out with you.
See, the pressure is not limited to voters. See, here's a member of Congress openly saying that she has lost faith in the justice system regarding the Epstein case. See, statements like that deepen public distrust. And once that trust weakens, every new document just starts another spark.
I want you guys to read this line. If it's too small, give me a second, I'll make it bigger. I also want you to see that the from is redacted and it's clearly to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, let me make it bigger. So read it, digest it. And here's the thing. I'm not here to kink shame anybody. If you're a grown adult and you're into this Disney princess roleplay thing, cool. But we're not talking about normal adults. We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And there are photos that are in these files. And there is one photo that seems like it would go with this. And trigger warning. These people are absolute monsters. They're absolute monsters. And the thing is, our FBI is telling us that Epstein didn't traffic victims to anybody but himself. And if that's the case, why is the from redacted? If there's nobody else but Epstein, why is the from redacted? Now here's what I can tell you. I've been in these files for hours every day for the last couple of weeks, and it is horrible what you see in there. It is absolute nightmare fuel, right? The House Oversight Committee is now going through the unredacted versions of it, and if you look at them, bipartisan Democrats and Republicans, look at their faces when they talk about this. Look at what they're saying. It is absolutely monstrous what's in these files, and they're saying worse than we are.
So one of the biggest controversies surrounding the Epstein files involves redactions. Many names inside these documents are hidden. Officials say that this protects privacy and ongoing investigations, but if Epstein acted alone, why redact so many names? And why are we redacting the names of the people committing the crimes and not the people who have been victims of the crime? But we all know who the major culprit is. It's only a matter of time until he meets justice.
I've tried to shoot a video now, probably a dozen times, trying to tell you about what I saw in the Epstein files. And honestly, it's just so depraved and it's sick, and it's not a cabal. It's so much bigger than a cabal. It is a vast network of rich and powerful people believing they can do whatever they want to girls and women. And I just want to do right by the survivors. When I go before Pam Bondi tomorrow in judiciary, I want to do right by those survivors. And that's weighing on me because they've been so ill-treated for so long, and we have a responsibility to show up for them with everything we've got. With everything we've got.
This frustration only fuels the accusations that the powerful people are being protected. Those accusations resonate because Epstein moved inside elite circles. Business leaders, politicians, celebrities. The closer a scandal gets to power, the more people suspect influence.
What is on the news everywhere, except here in America?
We are witnessing the descent of the United States into fascism. A president who rejects election results, incites insurrection, attacks the judiciary and the media, has an armed militia intimidating minorities, who kidnaps foreign leaders and threatens the sovereignty of others. If Trump smells weakness from the EU, it's because when the US or Israel break international law, we
look the other way. Now, I couldn't find the full clip of this. I wonder fucking why. The shit is all over the world. It's getting played all over the world, but it is impossible for me to find a clip. I mean, that's the only clip I found. Let me know if you guys found the full thing. I couldn't find it anywhere. But when you watch that, man, it just makes America look real sus. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to our nuts? Where's our nutsack? Why are we letting this weirdo, pedo, kidnapping motherfucker run the United States of America? Why?
You know, at the center of this case are the victims, the young girls who were trafficked, abused, and manipulated. Many survivors say the network surrounding Epstein was a far larger one than just one person. Their testimony continues to push the story forward, and yet nobody's really paying attention to it. The Epstein story has become international now. Foreign governments, journalists, and legal experts continue to examine the case. Scandals involving global wealth and influence rarely stay confined to one country.
We have significant news right now. The allegations in the Epstein Files may amount to, quote, crimes against humanity, according to an independent panel appointed by the United Nations Human Rights Council. Reuters is now reporting that the millions of files released by the Justice Department show and suggest the existence of a, quote, global criminal enterprise that carried out acts meeting the legal threshold of crimes against humanity. This, according to an independent panel appointed by the UN Human Rights Council. The experts say that the crimes committed by Epstein, Maxwell, and those associated with them, from the documents released by the DOJ, were committed against a backdrop of supremacist beliefs, racism, corruption, and extreme misogyny. In a statement, they write, quote, so grave is the scale, nature, systematic character, and transnational reach of these atrocities against women and girls that a number of them may reasonably meet the threshold of crimes against humanity.
Some legal experts have suggested that crime tied to Epstein may meet the threshold for crimes against humanity. That classification applies to systematic abuse carried out across borders. Whether courts ever reach that conclusion remains uncertain, but the scale of the allegations show how far this case has grown. The Epstein case began with one man who just miraculously self-deleted himself in the very beginning, which is quite odd, but anyways. But the longer the investigation continues, the more complicated the story becomes. New documents appear. Names remain hidden. Investigations stall. Political arguments explode. Some people believe powerful figures are being protected, and they are. And others believe speculation is filling gaps in the evidence. But until the questions surrounding this case receive clear answers, the story is going to continue. This is not easy to talk about, but as long as you give us the time, we'll give you the honest answers. Stay vigilant. Stay engaged. Stay revolutionary.